I was thinking about how relief, rest, breathing space, and tranquility are all intertwined. It's like putting down a heavy weight when we finally manage to speak the truth to ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Exactly. And that reminds me of the analogy between psychoanalysis and the biblical message. In psychoanalysis, releasing what is repressed is like giving voice to our soul, allowing relief.
Yeah, it's like that moment when letting everything go finally gives you space to breathe, right? And the Bible talks about this when Jesus invites, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened." Yeah, that's a really powerful image.
And speaking of rest, it's not just stopping, it's about deeply trusting, like when the psalm says, "In peace I lie down and immediately fall asleep." This rest goes beyond what the body needs. It's the mind finding peace.
Of course, it's that inner rest, the psychological rest, where the psyche stops fighting against what it used to deny. It's as if the truth found a safe nest.
I agree. Now, the breath is really fascinating. In our discussion, it's the return to the essential, the breath that organizes life. In psychoanalysis, it's that interval between stimulus and response where emotional health is built.
Exactly. And in the Bible, we've seen this since Genesis, where God breathes life into man. It's a blessing that symbolizes the origin and presence of life, an essential breath.
Yes, truly meaningful. Now, about tranquility, I find it fascinating how it's not the absence of problems, but rather an internal state. In psychoanalysis, it's a strengthened self, capable of embracing, while in the Bible, we see the promise of God's peace that surpasses all understanding.
That's right. It's a state that is achieved when the heart finds God, when the soul finds meaning. But look, I wonder, can this integration between psychoanalysis and the Bible actually help in clinical practice? Or is it just symbolic?
Good question. I would say it's quite practical. When we face these messages, like speaking the truth to find relief, trusting in order to rest, returning to the essentials to breathe, and seeking inner tranquility, we're integrating forms of healing that complement each other.
I agree, but something that can be challenging is finding balance, because sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between simply wanting to escape problems and truly accepting that inner peace with faith and self-knowledge.
Exactly, that's a critical point. No doubt there's something almost therapeutic about this integration. By speaking, resting, breathing, and finding tranquility, our lives become more organized. And so both psychoanalysis and the biblical message come together to offer a path.
So that's it. It's the union of expressing oneself to find relief, trusting in order to rest, and discovering what is essential in the breath of life that brings us this deep tranquility, isn't it?
Exactly. Truly inspiring. This thoughtful and meaningful dialogue between psychoanalysis and the Bible clearly shows us that even though they are divided by different perspectives and approaches to understanding the human mind and spirit, both of these important paths ultimately bring hope, comfort, and healing to the human being.
That's right. And this synthesis is a beautiful reminder that when we allow our hearts to connect with the divine and our souls to find their meaning, we have a better chance of living with balance and well-being. Without a doubt, a concept worth reflecting on. And so we go on, seeking that relief, that rest, that breath, and ultimately the tranquility that elevates our life experience. That's right, it's an invitation to inner transformation, where the weight of the world is lightened by truth, trust, and faith.